Hey, welcome back to, I think it's session 21 of Oxygen Not Included. Let's get going. So thank you for the comments on the previous one. So the first thing was the answer to my question about the automation. So because of the, because it's a smart sensor, it already has automation built in. So I should be able to just run a cable between the two to allow that automation to take place. It also sounds like the power transformers, I can have multiple on the same one battery, so I can just connect maybe a second and third transformer. I will just get them in place. I won't connect them just yet, so if I'm wrong about my assumption with the power transformers, let me know. But I think that's right. Now the other thing was that I want to adjust before we make any extra changes is I've put, I think, a small wiring between these two as opposed to heavy wiring. So I'm just going to change that. Can't see if there's any other in there. I think that's all there is. We will adjust that to heavy wires to operate between these guys. The other comment was that the reason that my Oxygen Master occasionally taking damage is because there is there is occasionally not oxygen getting through the gas pump. I honestly don't remember where I put the gas pump for that one. I suppose we can go to ventilation, gas pipe. There he is. And the filter would fix that one. For the meantime, I won't do anything that, because there was one other thing that was mentioned a few times in the comments, and that was, let's get some more exploring going. So I thought, well, for a change, I think that since there were so few comments about sort of the sustainability at this point, this guy here can just sort of take a rest. And since I've disconnected that, actually no, I do need to get him reconnected. So what we will do is we will put our cabling back in. Now the way that we're going to do this cabling, I guess, is go up and over, because we sort of want to be able to go across to those two as well. So what we're going to spend the rest of this episode doing, just for a change, is explore. Now, I think I want to explore down, and I think that this... Ooh, what do we got going over here? Let's take some of them. I think that I want to go down to explore, or potentially we could just try and get rid of some of this ice and get up to this security door. So let's maybe opt for this way first. Let's dig out some of that ice. I mean, if we collect it, we can just put it in there. If they just let it drop, it'll go into that water section where the rest of those guys are anyway. What are you needing to go down here for? Oh, you're just collecting ore. Okay. Now, that's probably another good point. There is a fair bit of ore here. We just hit an achievement too. I think it is going to be automate a building using sensors or switches. So there we go, another achievement for us. Distribute more oxygen. Could be an easy one. I guess I've slowly started working with that that gas pump, if that counts. Okay, so two different options here, and in fact we're going to do one other thing just to make this extra special. Is we go to skills, we are going to dig. Ellie is going to be our main digger, so can she have some sort of hat that really super hard digging? Super duper hard digging. We'll give her a super duper hard digging hat so that she can, where's Ellie? I'm sure there must be a way that I can just focus her in at some point. There she is. Let's just see. That's right, Ellie. Get excited. Because we are going digging. Oh, she's changed hats. She went for that one too. Okay. So here we go. So the first thing that we will do is we will build a ladder up. Probably a good note that it is going to be cold over here. And we will dig out all this ice. Now that is a reminder too that I am also connected to this security door up here. It will be neat to sort of dig out all this ice. I wonder if having it dug out, I assume having it lower down here, as you can see the temperature up here is -13, whereas if it's down here it's in degrees, they actually will operate. And looks like he's off to take it to where it needs to go anyway. There we go, there's a good shot of Ellie digging away. Now that's something interesting we found there. We're already paying dividends and now exploring. Now this Wheezewort does seem fascinating to me as well. I definitely want to learn more about... So I mean, it sort of feels like, I don't know if he necessarily needs, cold to survive, or if it's going to generate its own cold. But it seems like if I've got an area that's going to be hot, I could set up like an area below it and have Wheezewort sitting in there trying to cool. Basically, be a cooling point between that hot section and the rest. This guy's... Oh, that's right, still complaining of no power, but that's because that hasn't been built. They built the wrong half of that first. Alright, well, we're still going up with this guy, so let's... Self-sustaining machine powered by what appears to be refined uranium absorbs and neutralizes heat energy when provided with piped hydrogen. Anti-entropy. Now, I'm a big enough man to admit that I have no idea what entropy means. But whatever this does, it's anti that. I can't tell you if my current stance is anti-entropy or if I'm entropy. Although it's anti-entropy thermo, so I assume it's something to do with heat. It gets rid of heat, I assume. That's why it's frozen over. Okay, now the other way I want to dig is south. I think the way to do that is just build a long ladder that just goes straight down. So let's get deep. Alright. That's going to be Ellie's choice here of which way she wants to go. Whether she wants to dig up or dig down. It's a lot of ice that I'm now... Oh, cool. So she's just going to go collect the ice. Even though all these things have an order to go collect them, they're going to prioritize the ice that there's no priority on it. I mean, these are still pretty cold, so I can't imagine that... I guess as the lower ice melts, the higher ice might go as well. Dig out all of that as well. Exciting adventure to head south that way too. Now, part of the decision to go south here is that do need to address this. Okay, let's have a look at our ventilation. Gas filter sees one gas from the air, sending it into a dedicated pipe. Okay, so if I put, say that, can I rotate it that way? Must be built in unoccupied space. So let's say I build it there. Now, that's the wrong way around. I want it that way. We'll wait for someone to build that gas filter before we use it. Standing on the ground, they'd be able to dig out that row there, right? I'm just going to get that gone. See Barney getting in there and nice too. Thank you, Mima. And there's probably no issue with actually building a wall across the top here too. Although, part of what we're trying to do here is that if this continues to fill, it can fill all the way up to here before it's a problem. Now, because that will become a problem, if it does overflow, let's give ourselves the fail-safe of digging that up, and then we will put a lip there. Submit bioscan. Alright. We need to do anything else, or is that acknowledge that that's ordered? Cool, and we've got this coming up. Okay, so for the output we want is unbreathable gas. That's carbon dioxide. So what we would do is we would go close, we'll pause for a second, we get power. Say we want to power, power to run down into that. We will get our gas pipe to deconstruct the gas pipe there. We will then build gas pipe into that one, then into that one. Now, just to make sure I'm doing that the right way, if I swap my over to plumbing and check. No, plumbing is input, so I've got that around the wrong way. Okay. So, should have checked that first. I've now completely lost where I was looking. That's because I can't see it because I'm not looking at ventilation. So, deconstruct that. But our piping and everything all stays the same. But the output of that is coming from there. Yeah. Great. No harm, no foul. Nice. Fixed. Nice and quick. So, output 2, we want carbon dioxide. So then what we want to see is we need to do another ventilation. Would be... Now I suppose what we could do is we can go gas pipe. Just straight into that, because it doesn't matter if that goes into that gas pipe. It's just filtering out the... Although am I doing that the wrong way? Should I be filtering out the oxygen and sending that north, whereas everything non... Although I imagine carbon dioxide's the only non-oxygen thing in that section. Let's have a look how we're doing. I'm still not digging too deep that way. I know what we need to do there. Maybe I need to do something else to get that addressed. Now, having dug that up, that looks so much nicer and cleaner. How full this currently is, it does make me wonder if I should raise the level. Though I don't think I want to, because you can see this guy's currently touching the bottom. I don't want this higher than a point where he can't touch the bottom anymore. Now this guy's done again. So let's deconstruct him. And then what we will do is we will mop up all of that liquid. Let's double check that's back on, isn't it? I disabled that a while ago. Okay, Stinky. Got nothing to do. Go build a ladder down here, bud. Looks like that's currently off. So that's a positive. That looks to be working correctly. You can see we've got a fair bit of crude oil coming up down there. Waiting on Ellie or someone to come dig. Good. Possibly these are hard, so it's only Ellie that can actually burrow through them. Or is she just building the ladders? Okay. So what we want to do... what was I looking at? Focusing on something before this. Right, okay, so what we want to do here is we want to do something similar to this, where we want to open this up, but what I want to do is build a back wall here so I can actually keep this ladder, so this build down here isn't going to be in vain. And what we will do... Actually, stop for a second, I don't want those two yet. What we'll do is we'll build the tile across... Oh no, tile across... Yeah, we'll go there for now. And we will dig out a safe area of this so these guys don't have to get wet. Dig. How are we going down here? Maze doing her part. Oh, those guys went down that way to dig that out. Not what I intended, fellas. I was pointing down in the comments as well that I can do rocket stuff. It's just that the DLC expands on the rocket stuff, but the rocket stuff does actually exist in the non-DLC. I mean, a quick glance at the DLC, it didn't sound like people are overly blown away by it, so certainly no... I don't see any need to jump on it to sort of continue this. Okay. So what we'll do now is we will dig these first. Let's hit some carbon dioxide down there, also getting some slime. Now luckily I could create the sort of slime lung stuff, but we do have everyone's in oxygen masks as they go down that way. See, that guy's pumping away. Let's have a look at the... Doesn't look like anything's pulling out too much there. In fact, I forgot that that's a dead, dead sheep there. It's alright. Still haven't connected this guy. Or was that... Did I forget to, or was I... Alright. So this room has gotten warmer than it was. Because those plants now can't handle it. I just feel sorry for these guys. I can't imagine having to sleep in 30-degree heat. I mean, no wonder they don't use blankets or anything. Now, what I'm going to do as well is I will dig up, deconstruct power wires to there, and we'll just deconstruct the liquid pipes to there as well. Because potentially we could dig down this way and claim some of this polluted water, run it through a water sieve, and then put it up here as well. So what do I need to do to get this submit bioscan to work? Not quite sure there. Salt water. Farts frequently. Imagine going to the space program and that's considered your downfall. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a slow removal of these. Because I don't want them sort of potentially wandering across the bottom here. I want them to sort of go this way to get rid of it. Looks like they are still going to wander down. I think that is the easier option. Now the other thing that we're currently doing is that this has actually gotten around my airlock. So what we want to do is just basically get them to don't do that while May's standing on it, please. Basically get them to remove all of that. Deconstruct those two. And then build a wall there. And just to make it seem a little bit more genuine, I'm going to finish off the floor in there too. It doesn't mean that people are going to have to get their feet wet, but, you know, Stinky loves it. What I would say was we want to dig to this line here. So we'll dig those 6 down there once we get there. I just feel like possibly what I could do is take him and plant him, I want to say here, just so that possibly the water stays cooler, the plants stay cooler, or in here maybe. Are they those ones and not the actual tiles? That's so you can be put in a planter box. Now the other thing is I don't want to... It can be planted in anything and absorbs heat. Firing through there. What's that? Okay. So where do we want our guy that's going to absorb heat? We've got about 30 degrees up there. It's 30 degrees down here as well. Maybe let's put him down here. So we will put a planter box just there. Let's try and get to him. Late wheat grain. Grain can be sown. Grab that as well while we're down there. How are we doing without dig? Natural gas. I wonder if we can use that for power. Natural gas generator. Costs us polluted water. The polluted water isn't, if it doesn't have germs in it, then it doesn't seem like that's too big a deal. Now that, again, is a much nicer looking sort of layout than than what we had. I mean, I probably could look at doing something more like this too, where we build a wall just across the top, put a ladder down into the bottom of it, and be done with it. Slowly, I mean, it does look like it's a long process to get down there that they, why is that unreachable? I thought that you just... Oh, is it because it's too like, at lower headspace? I've got a lot of slate wheat. I've a lot more things than I think I used to have. Got a wart seed in there, looks like I've already got a few. Don't really have to dig too much to this guy. That does mean that maybe I should then consider fertilization. Okay. Now, I know I used to have a fertilization set up and I got rid of it. So... fertilization, what I used to have a compost. Where would that live? Thought it was somewhere simple. Well, not as simple as base. Thought it would have been a food thing. Compost. Actually do want to have a compost heap though. We'll put it outside the base. I think. Or at least low in the base. So maybe we'll just put it down here. Does look out of place there, doesn't it? Let's uproot these guys. Down here. Oh, he's probably fertilized. Either way, I'd put those in. I can see that that's dropped the temperature by about 2. Not more around him. Should I guess consider more of those around? Let's put in a few more storage bins. See how that dig's going. Slowly, slowly. What are you guys doing in there? Just picking up stuff. Okay. Okay, and now we go find that compost pile again. We could say it's all but not critter eggs and not... what was the other thing I wanted? Masks. Be more about snazzy suits. Okay, so those guys are all in place. See, these guys are still working their way down. That's a lot of germs in this. I wonder, is this contributing to that carbon dioxide, or is it just that this is the... I can't imagine it is. That the air is sort of... The oxygen has food poisoning in it, does it? Because of this? And I realize that this deodorizer is working. Maybe what I should do is block this off and shift this to being up here. So that the... But the air and everything that deals with this system is all outside of my my town. Maybe at some point I'm gonna have to get the crude oil out of here. Is that something that I can sort of just make an emptier? It's not a liquid. Actually, I might just store the oil in something. Lily seed over there. He's doing quite a good job, I think. Probably get myself some more refrigerators as well, shouldn't I, if I've only got the one that's going this whole time. Suppose we could sort of try and build up and over this and get... Now that's polluted ice up there. We want to be careful of that. Our system, but I'd imagine that's a long, long way away versus the ice that we can currently see down here. Alright, well I'd say this evening takes us to our end again. I guess I need to focus a little bit on cooling down here. I guess my one quick question for this one is just, what am I doing wrong to submit that bioscan? Good, and yeah, hopefully we can sort of continue to adventure out and do a bit more in discovery, because I think otherwise the village is sort of operating quite well. Probably need to start working on new food options, which we'll do without wheat. But until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.